Hello and welcome to the 2b exercise where we continue on solving quadratic equations on 2.1 topic. So in here we have an equation that is a quadratic, and what happens sometimes is that if we try to find the common factors like 1 and 3, we cannot find any way to actually make this work. And if we cannot make it work by factorization, then we're going to use the quadratic formula. Now the quadratic formula is as follows. When you have ax squared plus bx plus c, then you have this following formula applied to the equation. So we care about the coefficients. So this over here is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and the coefficients are taken to put them into formula. So those coefficients would be 3, minus 7 and minus 1. So a equals to 3, b equals to minus 7 and c equals to minus 1. Now we plug it in, so x equals to minus b, so that's minus 7 plus minus the square root of minus 7 squared, which is b squared, minus the 4ac. We plug in the numbers into the formula, and that is all over 2 times 3. So that simplifies to x equals to 7 plus minus 49 minus 12, which is plus 12 all over 6. And this equals to 7 plus minus 61 square rooted over 6. Now this is either 7 minus root 61 over 6, or x equals to 7 plus square root of 61 over 6. And there is one more thing to remember. The question could ask to leave your answer as a third form or an exact form. That means that we leave it as it is, and sometimes we need to do it to 3 significant figures or 2 decimal places depending on the question, but most of the time in exam it is 3 significant figures. And to put it into significant figures, we have to put it on calculator. So 7 minus root 61 over 6 is going to be minus 0.135, and x is going to be the positive 2.47 to 3 significant figures and 3 significant figures. So whenever a question asks us for an exact or third form, we leave it as it is, but if it asks for 3 significant figures, then we have to convert it to 3 significant figures. And make sure you read the question carefully, because this can happen to anyone by misreading the question, and they can get their answer wrong and lose a mark. Now we go in for 3x squared plus 8 equals to 16x. Now we do the same. We get 0 on the right side, so to do that we minus 16x, and that is 3x squared minus 16x plus 8. Now this question comes from the second question from the exercises, and it says that we have to solve the following equation using the quadratic formula and give your answers to 3 significant figures. So A equals 3, B equals minus 16, and C equals 8. So whatever result we get, we have to give it in 3 significant figures. So x equals to minus 16 plus minus the square root of b, the squared b, minus 4 times 3 times 8. So that's 4ac. And here over 2a, so we can use our calculator to work out what's inside the square root. So minus 16 squared minus 4 times 3 times 8 is going to be 16 plus minus square root of 160 over 6. Now square root of 160 is a third, and we can write it as 16 times 10 and 4 times 10, square root of 16 and square root of 10, and it can be 4 root 10. So this is the same as saying 16 plus minus 4 root 10 over 6. And here we can divide everything by 2 to get 8 plus minus 2 root 10 all over 3. Now they want this with 3 significant figures, so if you put 8 plus 2 root 10 over 3 and x equals to 8 minus 2 root 10 over 3 in a calculator, what happens is 8 plus 2 root 10 over 3 is going to be x equals 4.77 to 3 significant figures, and 8 minus 2 root 10 over 3 is going to be x equal 0.558 to 3 significant figures. And those are the answers. We would never get them with factorization, so sometimes when factorization is too difficult, you can use the quadratic formula and be happy. Now the final question is where x equals the square root of 8x minus 50. Now to get rid of the square root, we need to power 2. So x squared equals to 8x minus 15, because a square root is opposite of the power. So now we can do x squared minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. And now we look at the coefficients and plug them into formula. But what we can do instead is that we can plug them into the formula like so, and what we can do is finish our result with a calculator. So on your graphical calculators, I got FX CG50, but you might have an option 10, I think it was option 10 on the scientific calculator, where you could give the coefficients in the calculator and it would give you the answer of the quadratic equation. So if I plug in the numbers on a calculator to be 1, minus 8 and 15, I get x equals to 5, or x is equal to 3. And this is a quicker way of doing a quadratic equation. We could solve this manually, but this will take a longer time. That's how you solve the quadratic equation using the quadratic formula, and you should be able to do exercises 2b